So guys, today we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. There was several references yesterday at Agency Days to a certain tool that we all have access to. Does anybody remember what that tool is? It lives on the web.
Canvassing chart?
So canvassing chart was one of those tools. Yep. That's not the one we're going to discuss today, but that was definitely a tool that we did discuss. Anybody else?
Was it legacy stats?
So legacy stats is another tool. So guys, I'm not doing a great job of dropping hints on here. What I am actually talking about right now, guys, is what's called the Protect One Family website. Okay, as we have our own website for our organization, and if you're taking notes at home, and I hope you are, it's www.protect1family.com. Okay, when you go to this website, which I'm just gonna go from scratch and just show you guys. So can everybody see my screen okay? I need one person give me
yes.
a yes. All right, well, thank you. So go to protect1family.com, guys. You will see this. You'll see a family walking into the sunset, hanging out, that's what we're all about. Now, when you go to log in, okay, you'll see a little drop box here. You want to go to Agent Resources area. There's actually 4 other places you can go to, which is Leadership Resources. And as you move into leadership, you attend the Leadership 101 Academy and start training other people. You'll have access to that as well. Legacy Stats site, you can log into the stat site through this website, or you can just go to legacystatsite.com. And then the Family Heritage Sales Professional login. So you can log into FHL Connect through this website too. Today, we're going to talk about the Agent Resources area and what you guys have access to. So you're going to click right there on Agent Resources area. And guys, it may ask you to enter in. My computer didn't, because I've been to this thing so many times, it automatically logs me in. If it asks you for login information, then you need to have your work email address, which is simply your first initial and your last name, no dot needed, first initial, last name at protect1family.com. That is your email address for work. And then the password is simply the words FHL in lowercase letters, and then your 5-digit agent number. Okay. If you, for some reason, feel that you would like to change that and make it a little more secret, that's great, but no need to, in my opinion. It's just it's got great information and anybody can check it out, right? Abundance mentality. So once you get in, guys, you will feel like you are at a concert, right? Because you're at Agent Resources area, and there's, I'm not sure why we chose that stock photo, but it's exciting. I love it. I love live music, by the way. There are 3 distinct sections in this Agent Resources area. The first you come to is new hires. That is labeled green, right? Green, new, growing. So you have a welcome section. Hopefully, most of you guys have taken advantage of the phone list for agent interview. That's when you're hired, you're encouraged to make some phone calls to some people and ask them some questions. How long have you been here? What do you like best? What do you like the least? What's hard? Why do you do it even if it's hard? If you go back and start over, what would you do differently? I would love to hear. I'm not sure if that is being promoted as well as it could be or should be, but that's a great thing to give people confidence when they're getting started and brand new at this. It's just picking the brains of some experienced agents. Next is the conference call schedule, or technically it's a Zoom meeting schedule. And that just kind of goes through and shares right here what our schedule is, which is 8 a.m. every day of the week. And then on Fridays, there's a recruiting rally call, which you guys should be utilizing and inviting people to come join to help with recruiting. And also, I mean, if you're not in the middle of a demo, hopping on and listening to that does give great information on that as well. So next section below that is orange, and that is new agents. Pretty much everybody on this Zoom right now qualifies as a new agent. If you're within a year, this is stuff you should really be digging in with. You have 4 parts on this. One is the success manual. This was talked about a bunch yesterday. And guys, this is a book that a gentleman named Peter Ferre wrote. Okay. He drew from a lot of different resources, but put it together in a way that he felt made a whole lot of sense. And Peter founded the Legacy Group, guys. And the Legacy Group, Peter started it back in 1999. I was recruited into it in 2001. Guys, Peter retired 11 years ago. Since his retirement, the organization has grown more than 8x. Guys, that is the sign of a leader that left things in better shape. That's a person that left a legacy behind him. More business has been written by the Legacy Group and its extended tree than any other group in the history of our company. Peter was a smart man. Peter still is a smart man. Matter of fact, I'm flying out to his ranch in Oregon this July to go celebrate his 60th birthday. Guys, Peter's been retired for over 10 years and still, not that money's everything, but still has a residual income of 7 figures a year. That's pretty cool. So he did pretty well with this. So let me ask you guys, a book that was written by the best leader this company has ever known on exactly how to be successful at this business. How soon would you want to read that book?
Yesterday.
That's the right answer, Katie. Yesterday. You want to read that yesterday. Guys, it is a heck of a book. Now, I'm going to share this with you. A lot like Mac Anderson's Simple Truths book, some of these pages have charts and graphs on them. Some of these pages, have big pictures on them, right? Some of these pages have big fonts. So it's not like a novel. It's more of a reference book. But I tell everybody, read this thing from cover to cover when you're new, because you will discover so many things that if you didn't read it 6 months later or 2 years later, you're going to go, God, I wish I had known that back then. Man, I would have handled this situation different. I would have done this. I probably could have gotten that 1,000-person company had I known that then. Okay. So guys, I won't go through every bit of it, but I will share with you the table of contents. There's the financial opportunity, understanding, guys, what this means. Guys, did having Eric explain how getting compensated on studs and duds, did that help understand why recruiting might be of importance to you?
For sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, there's 14 pages in here that explain the financial opportunity in some pretty awesome detail. How do you factor in, new first-year commissions, including average cancellations? How do you factor in lifetime residuals, factoring average cancellations over that next, couple of decades? It's all in there, okay? Expectations and schedule, guys. A review of what's expected of you. That's pretty important, knowing what you should be doing, right? The first 12 months, guys, understanding how there are 3 very distinct phases of your first year. That's huge. What people get stuck in is in their brain, they think 4 weeks in, gosh, I can't see myself doing this for 20 years. What they're saying is, I can't see myself doing this at my current skill level, doing these exact activities for 20 years. And guys, I'm telling you right now, there are very few people in here in this business that have been here 20 years that are doing 20 years in what they were doing in their first few weeks. None. Matter of fact, if they're still focused on sales, they're doing it at a very, very different way that is more sustainable than the way that we start. And most people actually have morphed into a leadership position too, and are growing their business through manpower and woman power. So understanding the first 12 months and how the business morphs and should move along. Tools that are available to helping you build your business. Guys, nothing like trying to build a house with your hands, right? Could you imagine trying to hammer nails into a board with just your bare hands? Well, some of us are trying to do that, right? We're not using the tools that are available to us. So, or cutting wood with just like your fingernail. Like that would take a long time to get a piece of wood cut, right? There's better ways. Using the tools will help. The words we deliver and how to learn the sales talk and why it's so important. I am actually going to circle back and share a little excerpt from this piece here in a minute. How to ask for referrals the right way, and then how to call on those referrals the right way to actually get appointments and not get just blown off. Friends and family approach. There's a right way to call on people that you know, and there's a wrong way. If you're not doing it the way that's in here, there's a good chance you're doing it a way that's probably a lot less effective, okay? So reading this can be huge. It's all about a big buying atmosphere with friends and family, in setting up the appointments and in sitting down with them. Pre-approach, getting connected with your sales area. The new territory worksheet. That was one thing when I hopped in the car with Matt on last Thursday, first day in the field. I noticed that he had his new territory worksheet right in front of him. He had pulled up Wikipedia and got all kinds of information on Graham, North Carolina, and then was just getting ready to fill in the blanks with cancer stories, prominent employers, what types of coverage they have in those places, and filling that in. That's key. Marry your sales territory. Why do people buy your products, and how to develop the need? Guys, remember, a strong enough need trumps any objection. So learning how to find that need and help people understand it is key to being successful in sales. The demo goal card, how and why to use it. Okay, huge. 3 reasons why people are successful. Guys, there's 3 main reasons. Wouldn't you like to know what those 3 are? We'll go to page 52 and you can find out. Page 55, how to have a great train more, a great focus week. Wouldn't it be cool if a week out of each month you could just really prepare really well, really focus on that, and sell as much in that week as you did the other 3 weeks of the month combined? A lot of people do that, and you can do it too when you learn how. How to set goals that are specific, that are meaningful, okay, to you and your family, and then how to follow through and achieve those goals. There is a process to that, and most people that come into our business have never been exposed to specific goal setting processes. They're there. There's some great agent testimonials, and then the last roughly 60 pages, 70 pages is our success system, okay? Is the full family heritage presentation, the full 8-step cycle of the sale, and how to do each part extremely well. So guys, that's just another tool. If we do have time, I'm going to circle back around with the words we deliver and learning the sales talk, because it is absolute gold. But before we do that, I do want to also let you know that Sales Academy preparation, there's a piece in here on that. Okay, you guys have all been through Sales Academy, but some of you would still do well to go back and review. Maybe I should have looked at this before Sales Academy. Maybe I could kind of go back and do a couple things now that would help me be more successful. So learning your sales talk word for word. For some reason, a lot of people find out after Sales Academy, they don't take it as seriously before. And then they find out when they hit the field, ooh, I wish I had taken a little more time to learn that. Well, guys, it's not too late. It's not ideal that you didn't learn it before, but you need to learn it like ASAP, okay? Because it is absolutely key. Move back here. Field training preparation. Okay, guys, you guys are all going to be field training a lot. You're being field trained, and you will be. Some of you guys will be field training others. So preparation and self-discipline are key. Have you cleared your schedule? Do you know your sales talk inside and out? Is your iPad ready to go? Some major things to help you have a successful start. Success habits. I won't go through them all, but there are a list of about 10 right here that if you put these habits in place, you will be successful. If you skip them, you might be successful. Planning tools, how to use these, how to plan your work and then work your plan. Okay, it's all in there. And then technical things to focus on in your first month. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. It's all right there. Okay. Field training preparation, then sales talk audios, guys. The entire sales talk, there are audios, and it's broken down per part. There's the pre-approach, how to know where you're going. You guys remember while Rachel won the approach competition, it was because she had pre-approach, right? She knew the name of the person she was calling on, and that made a huge difference. Plus, she knew what she was going to say really well too. But getting pre-approach, approaching all 4 approaches, guys. There's more than just one. Okay, there's 4 of them, and sometimes you'll need to go through all 4 to get that sit down. There's effective introduction, where we build the need. There's a great buying atmosphere. This is Kyle Schneider, guys, one of the best salespeople, and right now one of the fastest growing agency owners in the company, where it's about 4 minutes. He does an incredible buying atmosphere. Then the rest of the presentation through our commitments, then the price build up through the return of premium, the transition to close through those health questions, the close through solidifying, and then your rebuttals 1 and 2 are right there. Guys, if you're not using the rebuttals, you're leaving about 33% of your income on the table. Okay. The average rookie sells about 5 of these a week, which means 25 a week aren't buying. Well, if only 10% of those 25 do buy, and they will with rebuttals, that's an additional 2.5 sales per week. Add that on the 5 that you already made. That's a 50% increase. That's a third of your income. So learn the rebuttals and use them every time someone doesn't just buy from you the first time. How to get referrals and how to field recruit. Guys, it's all right there at your fingertips. And it's so easy to use, and it's so easy to just skip. I encourage you to use it. Guys, last 3 things I'll show you, and then I'll wrap up sharing you one cool tool. But forms, this is for all the agents. Forms, documents, and scripts. I can't tell you how many times I've been out in the field with agents and seen, hey, can you leave us some literature? Can you do this? Now, and they just leave. They don't know what to do. Guys, when people are open to you leaving something behind, that something is not going to sell a bunch of insurance for you, but something could crack the door open enough for you to get in the door to speak to a couple people. And then when you get into it with a couple people, you can get referrals to all the other people. Okay, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So there's several different sections right here, enrollments and groups. For example, someone says, can you leave some information? Click on these images down and you copy for each form. So here's a great example. Life happens. We can help. Here's some optional insurance for you or your whole family. Supplemental coverage that pays money directly to you. Cancer stats, heart stats, other hospitalization stats. This pays cash directly to you in addition to sick pay, designed to help out with lost income, covers everyone 24 hours a day. Your workers' comp only covers the employee and only when they're at work, right? Premiums are affordable. Here's a couple examples of claim payouts. One for cancer, one for heart, one for injuries. And all policies are 100% refundable. So here it's got 3 testimonials from clients that used our policies and how much money they got. And here's some facts about the company. So guys, these are just examples of things that you can leave behind that are way better than just leaving. You want to let some people know that you're coming in for a group presentation. All right. So here's a great little memo to leave behind on the board, so everybody knows you're coming in next Friday. Hey, attention employees, optional benefit available to you. Bullet points on what it does. You get a full refund if you don't use it. Family Heritage rep's going to meet with you individually to explain all these benefits in more detail. Okay. If they're saying, hey, we'll survey the group and you can come back and catch up with the folks that are interested. Great. Leave them this. Just, hey, fill out this box if you'd like to learn more about this optional coverage. Name, phone number, address, follow back up, pick these up. Again, guys, if you leave this for 20 of these for a 20-person company and you come back and there's 3 positive responses, guess what? You're in. Okay. Now you get in there and sit down with those 2 people that were interested, get them signed up, but then get referred to the other 18 people in there and go see them too. These are just little tools, guys, that you can use. But if you don't look at the website, you won't even know that they're available, but they're awesome. And there's a bunch more in here too. Okay. Life happens. We can help. Attention all employees. Group payroll agreement. If you ever do any businesses that have to do payroll, the employee opt-out form. Guys, this is a great document. I've been offered the Family Heritage policies at this time would like to opt out of enrolling in any coverage. They put their name, they sign the paper. Guys, that's a great piece of paper to put in front of people that just don't want to look at your presentation. We'll do some training on the right way to do that. But there's a lot of people that when they go, wait a minute, I have to sign something. You're like, yeah, you got, and this is something you speak with the owner or the HR person ahead of time about, hey, I'm going to have people that opt out sign a little document because you don't want to have a person get diagnosed with cancer a year down the road and say, oh, I never had an opportunity to see that. I never knew this was available. Everybody else got it, but I didn't. We live in a litigious society. People love to sue. So if you have this piece of paper, and even if it's a frivolous lawsuit, you still got to pay an attorney and be represented, and that costs you time and money. Well, with this, it keeps that from happening because you show up to court with, hey, they signed this saying they opted out, over. Guys, you take that and you put it in front of an employee that doesn't want to take a look at it, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you can sign this saying that you've seen it, you understand it, and you'd rather not, but I mean, most people would rather at least know what they're opting out of. How about I give you a quick peek so you know? And if it's not for you, we can still do this. Oh, okay. A lot of people will take a look at this, guys. If you know, so understand that these options are available to you. Let's return to the agent resources area. Other after forms, documents, and scripts, continual training. Guys, these audios in here are phenomenal. We got the Family Heritage Fit modules. We got the P1F YouTube channel. Like probably 75% of our content that we've shared has been recorded, just like today's is being recorded. It'll be uploaded on our YouTube channel with clearly marked with what it is. You can go in there and pick it out and learn on specific things. Sharpening the saw. Guys, there's probably about 20, 25 episodes of that. Nathan Terborg created that while he was with the company, and it is pure gold. The Elevators podcast on Spotify, which you heard about, there's a link to that right here. That's kind of like the sharpening the saw, but here, 10 years later, and unbelievably broken down, simple to understand. You will be better for using that. B2B training videos. Guys, there are actually, you can see people doing what we do to perfection, from the first approach to the final approach, the transition statement, question transition, okay? How to find a need really well. That's Nathan Terborg, the handsome guy with the beard who did the Elevators, the Sharpening the Saw podcast. And that is Mr. Justin Ellingson, the agency owner of the largest agency in family heritage right now. Right there doing role-playing this. It is absolutely perfect. How to do a great accident demo, the price buildup, the transition to the close in the first rebuttal, the second rebuttal, how to get referrals business to business, the cancer benefits, cancer stats, heart benefits, heart stats. It's all right there, guys, done to perfection. And you can not only hear it, but you can see it. It is absolutely awesome. The continual training audios. Guys, every single part of our presentation is in here. We should be going through field, there's week 1, week 2, week 3. If one of your problems is being motivated, hey, hop over here on attitude, motivation, and purpose and go next level thinking. Anything can happen. Why people need our products by Peter Ferret. Moses himself speaks on a lot of these. Passion and Purpose by Peter Ferret and Brian Ross. 5% Thinking and Building a Pipeline. Habit, Skills, and Attitude by Peter. Guys, to hear Peter coach through the power of the recorded voice is truly is an amazing thing. Having fun in direct sales. Wouldn't it be fun if you could have more fun? Well, Brian Glennie gets in here and explains exactly how to have some fun when you're out here. Creating a Centurion schedule, the power of being positive, hitting the reset button on your week. Some of us need to hit the reset button right now because we're sitting on 0 and we need to just get a new attitude. How to have a record-breaking week. Attitude, a winning attitude, a strong why can overcome anyhow. Being consistent in good habits by Peter Ferret. So just so much great stuff in there, guys. That's just one of many topics that are in here. Technical approach, technical rapport and buying atmosphere, how to answer objections, rebuttals, closing, building the need, groups and enrollments. You want to get better at groups and enrollments? Listen to the best of the best talking about groups and enrollments. You'll get better. Culture, leadership, training, train more, how to have big ones. It's all in there, guys. There's so much great information in here. And then some other useful links in here, guys. How to create your recruiting story. You don't know what to say to a person that you might want to recruit into your business. We'll go right up your recruiting story. It's right here. Just click on here and then fill in the blank. Scroll down here, put your name and your info in, what you were doing, what you used to do before this, why you were looking, okay? How you found Family Heritage, what impressed you the most, what it's doing for you. Hey, and the best part is this, and here's an invitation to watch our Career Spotlight video. Type it out and then get it and then practice it. You will become a great recruiter. In addition to that, there are client stories, how to order more business cards or thank you postcards if you want some of those. personal recruit log, business testimonials. Guys, you want to get owners to let you in? Okay, guys, then go over here to business testimonials and print up some of these testimonials from business owners. Hey, here was a person that they call it the people lead at Walmart. That's the person that's in charge of a Walmart store. Well, this person, Myleka Holmes, said, to whom it may concern, working with Tom Hickey and Ebony Vereen was an absolute pleasure. The products offered through Family Heritage are top notch. Many of our employees chose the coverage because of the affordability and return of premium features offered by the company. We have great coverage already with Walmart, but it's not always a fit for everyone. Having the ability to offer additional protection to my team was a great way to show them how much we care for them. The process working with Family Heritage was seamless. Tom and Ebony did everything. There was no need for me to tie up administrative assets or burn employee productivity. They did what they could to reach the employees on times where we were both convenient for employer and employee. I highly recommend Family Heritage and their products. Guys, can you see how walking into a Walmart, or any business for that matter, hey, Walmart's a pretty well-known business, right? You show that, hey, if it's good enough for Walmart, probably good enough for your mom and pop, 10 employee business, right? But guys, those are just examples of things that are available at your fingertips. Okay. So I would just say, yeah, you can cut wood, with your hands. If you scratch at it with your fingernails long enough, you can probably cut a 2x4 in half. But guys, picking up a saw sure is a lot more effective, and you'll get a lot less splinters. So guys, I'm going to end up on this right here, and just I told you I'd circle back on a real quick part on in our one of our best tools ever, which is our success manual. And I want to talk to you about the words we deliver and learning the sales talk, just to give you a quick example. And that's over here on page 34, 35, and 36. Okay. So there's expectations. All right, that's page 19. Scheduling, RIBLAB, which we heard about yesterday. And there's months 1 through 12. There's critical success factors, tools to build your business. Great MP3s right in there. The words we deliver. So guys, successful people are successful because they form the habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people do not like to do. One of the key things that successful people in our business do is they learn the approach, the introduction, the demo, the close, rebuttals, and the referrals word for word. The sales presentation has been developed and tested by the best salespeople in our business and is based on over 150 years of real world experience. Probably going to be better than what you're going to come up with off the top of your head while your heart's beating fast and you're sweating. Okay. It may seem awkward at first, just like walking did when you were 1 year old, but it works. When used word for word, the sales presentation will help all new agents be successful, regardless of their background or experience. So here are a few ideas to make sure you are an expert at delivering your sales presentation. During your first 3 weeks, watch the sales presentation videos every evening. Okay, doesn't say to watch them in the morning, doesn't say to watch them in the middle of the day, every evening. We always want to do technical training at night. We want to do emotional preparation, reading, uplifting in the morning before we go out to battle. Okay, listen to the sales presentation CD, MP3 in your car each day. Okay. During your first 3 weeks, read the sales presentation each morning. Approach all the way through rebuttals. Okay. Some of the best agents even physically write it out. Takes a little longer, but so does success. After your first 3 weeks, watch that sales presentation video at least once per week. So continue to do that. And guys, this is a big one. Make a recording of yourself delivering the sales presentation to a real client. Take your phone, put it on airplane mode, go to voice memos, press record, hit the home screen so it goes dark, and then walk in, lay your phone down, give a demo. In the evening, listen to the recording and make the appropriate adjustments and corrections to your presentation, close, and rebuttals. This is the most overlooked idea, but arguably the most important. I don't know why so many people are so scared of recording themselves. But guys, I know in the Buck Agency, they encourage daily. They call that a sales presentation audit. You want to audit your presentation by recording it at least once a day in your first month, and then listen to it. Listen to it with the actual sales talk right in front of you. You will very, very in short order find out exactly where you're going off in left field. where you are leaving the sales presentation and also leaving sales on the table. Okay. There are 3 specific steps to learning your sales talk. The 3 steps are memorize, naturalize, some people call it internalize, and then the third step is to personalize. Guys, you have to do them in that order. People that come in and personalize first typically personalize the wrong stuff, okay? And they're missing. So your memorize should be your first 100 demonstrations from sales school through about your first 3, maybe 4 weeks in the field. If you're doing 10 demos a week, it's going to take you 10 weeks to get 10 demos. So volume is key, lots of practice. These steps involves memorizing every part of the sales talk word for word, exactly as you were taught in sales school. During this stage, the main priority is word for word delivery of the sales talk. It may feel awkward and you may not sound like yourself, but it is vitally important that you have the sales talk memorized like the back of your hand. This will lay a very important foundation for your career. Step 2, naturalize. This is after 100 demos and about the next 2 months, okay, through your first full quarter in the business. In this step, you continue to deliver the sales talk word for word, but now it starts to feel more comfortable and sound more natural. While you're still saying someone else's words, you begin to sound more like yourself, okay? Voice inflection, facial expressions, using your hand, all those things are part of good communication. And then step 3 is personalizing, guys. Only after you have mastered the first 2 steps. Now that you've memorized and naturalized the sales talk, it's okay to personalize it if you feel it's necessary. In this step, you may want to change the delivery and the wording of some parts of the sales talk. You may want to use some advanced sales ideas you picked up from other agents. Make sure what you're picking up, though, is you're picking it up from people that are producing at a level that you want to produce at. Don't go follow somebody doing less than you and change and start doing what they're doing just because it sounds clever. Make sure they're getting results, because it's very important that these changes are slight and do not change the overall order and concept of the cycle of sales and the original sales talk. Before you can deliver personalize the sales talk, you must have a deep understanding of why people buy, and you must have mastered the first 2 steps. I hope for some of you guys, you're in your head going, oh, I've been personalizing it and I'm too early in the game to do that. You gotta memorize, okay? And I'll wrap up with the chef analogy, guys, and we'll call it a day. It's very important to do the steps in order. If you try to personalize your demo before you've memorized the words, it can have a negative effect on your sales and therefore your income. You can't change the words of the sales talk before you've had a ton of experience in giving presentations in the field. The understanding of why people buy and why the sales talk is designed the way it is are critical to properly personalizing your presentation. That understanding cannot be obtained without ample experience in the field giving presentations to real prospects. It's kind of like cooking. Let's say you've never cooked and you've never even tasted food in your entire life. You wouldn't be a very good chef, but you could still cook by following a very detailed recipe. I always use the hamburger helper analogy. I used to cook that back in the day, and I haven't cooked it in 20 years, but I could cook it tonight for my kids if I wanted to, because if I turn the box sideways, the directions are right there. And guys, you can't just cook the noodles first and then at the end throw in some raw meat. Doesn't work that way. Step 1 is you got to brown that ground beef first. It has to be done in the right order or it doesn't work. It's not hard to follow step-by-step instructions to make a decent meal, even if you have no cooking or eating experience. Our sales talk is just like that recipe. An experienced chef, on the other hand, and guys, this is your trainer. Your trainer is an experienced chef. They've made so many meals and tasted so many different types of food that he or she can freestyle cook. They can taste a sauce and know it needs a pinch of this or a dash of that, and it'll be perfect. They don't need to read that step-by-step recipe and measure everything out to make a good meal. Their years of cooking and tasting experience have given them a foundation of knowledge and understanding that they're able to make a great meal without that recipe. Some top experienced salespeople are like chefs. They've mastered the basics. They can now freestyle cook. You can't come in and be a freestyle cook from day one if you've never cooked or ever tasted. If that inexperienced chef tried to prepare a meal the same way a chef did, it wouldn't turn out very tasty. Inexperienced chef may substitute salt for sugar, thinking that it's pretty much the same thing. They're white, a little grainy substance, but they taste very different. They may add a little bit of this, a little less of that until the meal tastes terrible. So that's why it's so important for you to memorize and naturalize before you personalize. So guys and gals, I hope that was helpful for you today. Did anybody, before we wrap up, pick up one thing that they could implement in their business starting today that can be a difference maker?
Yeah, I'm definitely printing out those forms to leave the places rather than just a bunch of brochures or something.
Adam, so seeing those leave behinds options, yep, just to get you in the door, guys. They're not going to sell anything, but they can get you in. Thanks, Adam.
I was going to also say the leave behinds, but also after the call or after the meeting yesterday, I was on Protect One Family this morning and found those recordings of Kyle. Those are fantastic, and I'll be listening to those daily.
You go, Matt. Those will be a difference maker. One more. Anybody else? Katie, Damian, Grant, Amber, anybody?
I just like the manual.
Super. It's a great manual, guys. But guys, remember, I'll end on this note. It's not what we have access to that's important. It's what we use of what we have access to that is important. So keep that in mind, and let's be sure that we're using the tools and that we're planning time, specific time in our schedule to pull those tools out. What gets planned gets done. So guys, thanks for being on today. Let's go out and then serve and swerve, make a dash for the cash. Let's go protect families. You can't be nervous when your mind is on service. Have a great day. And bunch of you guys out there, let's burn the midnight oil, guys. Let's get that second green out. Let's get you in that 101 training, because it is so unbelievably vital. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.